Egg Bros, Sensei Bros, Wonder Egg Priority TV series has come to a conclusion. It's not over yet. There will be another OVA released in June, but the TV series itself has concluded. And what's going on with it? Let's see. As expected, the production issues show up all over this episode. From the beginning, it's mostly a screenshot with dialogue over it. Momoe, Rika, and Neru all get taken out of the episode within seconds. The Sensei and I arc from the main universe is still a mystery. Frill never showed up. The three strange-headed girls are still out there somewhere. The bad version of Sensei gets killed off screen. Koito is still a mystery. Nero is still a mystery as to what she really knows and what her true intentions are, as well as the whole mystery behind her sister. The Akkas are still on a mission that hasn't been concluded yet. Himori might come back, but it's left in the air. Also, the fight against the weaker enemies has no real kind of choreography, and it's just effortlessly drawn weapon swinging and off-screen killing. That's just the beginning of a lot of plot left unanswered after the TV series. As a 12-episode TV series, this episode, though a decent one, has brought down Wonder Egg Priority from being a 10-10. The staff did what they could, and it was obvious there was no way they were going to wrap it all up in 20 minutes. Plot-wise, Rika wants revenge on Dot for killing Manin. Momoe confronts Ai in front of the other two girls and regrets having gotten mixed up with them, and she leaves. Only Neru decides to leave with Ai. Next, it's revealed even more that Akka is not such a good person in contrast to the more moral Ura Akka. In the last fight, Ai doesn't want to summon her pet because it could die like the rest have so far. Akka tells her why she cares so much, as if she was the mother if they created them. He forces the summon of her pet. Still, Ai needed help of her pet, or else she probably would have not made it from what happens after. Afterwards, the following twist is that Ai's egg is another Ai, which Akka explains is from a parallel world. The Ai in this parallel world, had killed herself by drowning because of all the problems the main Ai had. The difference was that this parallel Ai did not have Koito to support her mental health. She wasn't happy and couldn't even go to her mother. The parallel world Ai is surprised to see that the main story's Ai lives a very happy life, according to her. The main monster here is an evil parallel world version of Sensei. At first, you just see a big head for a short moment, which made me think it was going to do in some Attack on Titan homage, but luckily it didn't. He has the power to melt with bottle sprays that are attached to his head. That's apparently one of his abilities. Leon, the pet, Ai's pet, had to step in and save the Ais from getting heat blasted eventually. Interestingly enough, this parallel world Sensei tells Ai that he is her first love. That's been a battle of theory for a long while. After they both fall into the pool, alternate Sensei blasts the pool with his weaponized paint bottles. Main Ai is pulled out in time by Koito, it seems. Seeing as though Koito should be somewhere else, it can't be her, and Bad Sensei seems to try to convince Ai he is trustworthy here, so it seems this is part of a surreal illusion being used by him. Bad Sensei tells Ai that love is best when pure and unsullied, saying her and Koito are his example of this. He continues that adult love is full of self-interest. Ai says adult love is dirty. Bad Sensei says that it should make her sick, and that as she grows, she won't be able to escape that type of love. So he tells Ai it's best for her to kill herself and escape that fate. He tries to convince her. However, this Ai is much different from the parallel world Ai, and this version of Sensei, I suppose, doesn't know this. And so, the main Ai thinks of something her mom said to her that is enforced by Kotobuki, which is the albino from Nero's episode. She finds resolve, lets go of this most likely fake Koito, and uses her weapon to smash her way outside of this evil Sensei's tricky sequence chamber. Bad Sensei tries to bring up her mom next, but Main Ai is already determined to believe in herself and smashes Bad Sensei, killing him off screen. Just before he dies, he says, "That's the same mouse you asked me out with," which reveals that the parallel world Ai had said. But this is different from the Main Ai, who did not say that. They still gotta go back to what happened in the scene earlier when Ai was talking to Sensei, when Sensei was showing her his art, and she straight up asked him about Koito, and they never got back to that. I wonder if they'll address that eventually. After the victory, the countdown begins and the real Koito appears from the curtains, but quickly vanishes. In a flashback, the main eye is talking to Neru, still from the first scene, but during the nighttime. Ai says she has begun to move on from wanting to hear the truth from Koito. She says she feels grateful as she was saved by her, regardless that Neru claims she was a fake friend. Back to the two eyes, Rio Ai decides to become a warrior of arrows and to fight the Naros. Just then, the third strange-headed girl appears. She starts by introducing herself with a long, strange name. She attacks Ai, and it overwhelms her. There's a quick transition here to an enraged Rika trying to get back into that certain part of the dream world, but is rejected. The Akkas are watching, and Akka says she can't because her mission is already over. Ura Akka says that with hatred, she'll be taken or killed rather by Frill if she is allowed to go through. But Akka wants to try. Ura Akka says if he cares about what might happen to her, and Akka says that Rika knows the risk. Ura Akka then accuses Akka of not actually caring about Frill, and that what really matters to him is bringing back Himari. Akka reminds Ura that this is how it's always been. Back to the fight, the strange-headed girl with the long name tells the main eye that she won't kill her. It seems the parallel world eye offered herself in place of the main eye. Main eye realizes she was protected, as the strange-headed girl had used her boomerang to maim and pull out the parallel eye's blue eye and to steal it. The main eye sees the parallel world eye on the floor as the killer says she likes shiny things. Eye is shown sleeping and you can hear both eyes say, "Thank you." The series ends. After the credits, it just shows Eye with the message, "Thank you so much." And that concludes the final episode of the TV series. Sadly, it's not... It's a 9 out of 10 for me. Maybe if I rewatch it, I can disregard the opening, the ending episode, but... It's just not this episode is mostly a setup for the OVA because of all the issues in production that this anime had. They had to release an OVA which is going to come out in 3 months that'll wrap up the whole story. Unfortunately for the TV series itself, this is where it ends. The OVA will be separate and it'll be a separate attempt to save the franchise, and it'll probably be good. It'll probably redeem what we got with this ending that answers so little of the questions that we have. That's what I think about One Rig Priority. I will see you all in 3 months when I watch the OVA once it comes out.